What's going on, everyone? This is Jay with Prepared Citizens, and thank you so much for stopping by this evening. Guys, I want to talk to you about tourniquets. It's a hot topic on this channel, and it's a very important topic. The point of my business is to prepare people for the everyday preparedness. Carrying a gun, carrying some medical, being spiritually fit, being mentally fit, prepared to do what you need to do, being trained on all the equipment you carry. It's very important. So, today's video, we're going to talk about tourniquets. This is probably going to hurt some feelings, and that is okay, because we got some special people out there, but we also got a lot of good folks out there that want to learn, and I'm going to shoot you straight here on all this information. As always, when it comes to any of this stuff, I always highly recommend in-person training. If you can't snag any in-person training, there's a lot of awesome dudes on YouTube spitting out solid information. And there's also, you can go to Grunt Proof. He's got the Training Academy, and I'm going to be doing the medical section on that. He's going to be doing lots of team building stuff, fitness stuff. There's going to be some radio stuff. Just land nav stuff, a lot of good stuff. So if you can't get in-person training, I'm going to get it out here in a minute. If you can't get in-person training, find something like that. Get an online seminar and get some knowledge. Lots of good books too. But anyway, all right, we're going to jump into this. So first off is going to be where you get your information from. That's very important. Now, I get it. Here on the YouTube, I'm just a dude on YouTube. There is a slew of very good and very bad information. There's a lot of experts out there that will tell you pretty much anything. It's crazy. So first off, let's talk about where to get information from. The best place is in-person training. I want to touch real quick on the Committee of Tactical Combat Casualty Care. It's a very good committee. It's basically just a bunch of studies on government-approved tourniquets. This is one of them. This is a North American Rescue Cat Gen 7 right here, but North American Rescue is one of the brands that is approved. Also, there's a TACMed Solutions. Not crazy about their tourniquets. The soft tees. And then there's another like ratcheting thing tourniquet that they approved. That's a joke. Anywho. But what that does is give you data, studies on everything that was applied like on a battlefield, and how well it worked and all that good stuff. And it is good information. It's very interesting. But at the same time, that is not the only information out there. The whole tourniquet argument, especially when people bring in the TCCC, is almost as dumb as like 9mm versus 45. And then the 40 guys jump in. It's just stupid. It's nonsense. Guys, when it comes to our rifles that we carry, that we protect our families with, yes, the government uses Colt, FN, Daniel Defense, Knights, all these brands. But I would dare say that a nice Palmetto State, a Bear Creek, an Anderson, all these rifles work. They get the job done for what you need. I would trust one of those. I trust my PSAs to protect my family. Same thing with optics. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the government used ones, those are definitely something, starting line to start comparing stuff to, right? And that's how the TCCC needs to be used with tourniquets. This is an excellent starting point. So, yeah, if I'm going to use a tourniquet, I want it to do everything this one does. What's wrong with that? Anyway, and trust me, there's a lot that can do that. So I'm just going to show you guys how I pick tourniquets, basically. There's some criteria that the tourniquets have to go through for me to personally carry one. And I take these tests very serious. I always, like when I started testing these, the ETQ wides, which now sell on my website, when I started testing those, I bought two. I bought one to literally try and destroy. The second was technically a backup to that in case I did destroy it, but I now carry the second one, and I now carry these in my store. I'm a dealer for them now. Excellent tourniquets, by the way. But I'll do a little shout out for my stuff at the end. So here's how I select tourniquets. This is a selection process that must go through for me to consider it. Because when I carry a tourniquet, it's not just for me, it's for my family, for my kids, for my wife. It's extremely important. So I have a primary and a secondary series of tests I do. And sometimes I will come up with more stuff than this just to see if it'll do, but these are the main things, and you should come up with your own system, what works for you or what you need. Now, as for the primary, I will not, this one shouldn't change for anybody in my opinion. I think this should be everyone's. So, and I'll put it on the screen if you can't read it good. I don't know if you can or not. But number one for the primary thing my tourniquet should be able to do is arterial occlusion. That's the entire point of a tourniquet. A good way to test that, if you're at home like doing this yourself, is a pulse oximeter. These are very good. What these do is measure, when this goes on the end of your finger, is measuring your pulse, and it's measuring the amount of oxygen that is being carried by the artery, your arteries, main arteries, all the way to the tip of your finger. So if this thing stops getting oxygen, you know the oxygenated blood has been stopped. And your main arteries, your carotid, brachials, and femorals, and what comes off of those are oxygen carrying arteries. Those carry the oxygenated blood throughout the body. So it must be able to do that, obviously. Number two, speed. How fast can you get that tourniquet on one-handed? I always like to test everything one-handed because I feel like that's the ultimate test. I can obviously do any of them extremely quickly with both my hands, but if I can do it one-handed, and I usually alternate left and right hand, if it can do that, you're good. Speed is extremely important because, as most of you know, if a main artery starts leaking, you literally have 3 minutes to live. That's probably being generous in some cases. So I tell people 3 to 5, depending on the severity of it. And if it's fully severed, 3 minutes is probably being generous. So speed is extremely important. You have to be able to put it on that timely manner, whether it be on yourself or a loved one. If you test it one-handed on yourself and you can do it in your time frames, which I go for 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds, that's pretty good. So that's what I like to test. Number three, this is what a lot of people don't think about, and this is very important. So this kind of falls in with training, but consistency. Consistency. Meaning, I've put on all these tourniquets, and I can apply these, and I'm not exaggerating here, 50 plus times in training without failure. Without failure. So if you can do it 50 times without failure, the tourniquet don't fail and you don't fail, what kind of confidence does that give you? You see what I'm saying? Now, let's say you were putting on a tourniquet. Let's say the SWAT. This is a good example because this one's tough. This is a very tough tourniquet to train with, to get good at. Let's say I only get it, you know, seven times out of 10. How confident are you in that? Do you think that's the one you need to carry if it's only correct 7 out of 10 times in training? That's a scary thought. You see what I'm saying? You don't want the time that you're actually injured and hurt, and it, you know, the money's on the line now. You don't want that time to be one of your failure points, right? So, consistency. You need to be able to consistently apply that tourniquet correctly without fail. So, how easy is that tourniquet? Under stress, is it easier, or is it still like, you know, does it become way more difficult under stress? May want to consider that. And for me, this is one of those. It took a while to get used to this thing, but like with my ETQs, nope. When I run a high stress scenario, I can still do it. I can still knock it out. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. Now that is the top 3. The tourniquet has to be able to perform those 3 tasks without fail. If I can't achieve those top 3 standards, I'm not going to consider it. So, let's say the tourniquet has now made it through this, let's go to the secondary. Now, this can vary for many people. This can vary person to person, literally. For me, I'm a family dude. I'm a dad. I got a wife, and I have 2 children. So, for me, my number one thing on the secondary goals is it has to work on kids. My North American Rescue cats, they're out. They do not work on kids worth a flip. The dude that invented the RATS tourniquet, he was a Army 18 Delta, which is a Special Forces medic. He found himself having to give medical attention a lot to the local civilians in Afghanistan, and he said the number one failure of this was he couldn't use it on kids. Excuse me. So what he did was carry surgical tubing around in his kit. He would use that for the children, and that eventually led him to the idea of the RATS tourniquet. So that's a little backstory on the RATS. But, and that's one reason I love a RATS tourniquet as well. It works great on kids. Sam Slishman, the guy that invented this, friend of mine, he, excellent dude. He has children. This is one of his primary goals. This is just a must-have if you have kids. Must-have. My ETQs works on kids. Great. These work on kids. Excellent. So that's a big deal. Another one I threw in here. I threw in a couple more. Grip. I like to put, it's a fun test I do. On a lot of these tourniquets, I need to do a video on this. I'll put like Vaseline or something extremely slick, honey, something. You put a lot of it and it's just slippery. And then apply your tourniquets. And it kind of simulates blood, like if you had a lot of blood on your hands. That's a good test. So, can it be applied while your hands are slippery? That's a secondary objective of mine, which so far all of mine do. The only one that really gives you trouble, again, is the SWAT T. I know I'm kind of harking on the SWAT T. It's a good tourniquet. It does have a lot of pros, but sometimes there's just better stuff. And number 3 down here is compact. So the way I see it, Like the cat is huge. This thing is massive. I'm not gonna put this in my front pocket. I'm not gonna like. It's not. If I'm wearing shorts, tennis shoes, and just a t-shirt, this thing ain't gonna be on me. Even in cargo pockets, it's not gonna be on me. It's huge. It's aggravating. It's bulky. Don't work on kids. But like a Slishman or my ETQ, a rat's tourniquet, or the SWAT T, these are very compact. And I can tell you with experience, just like carrying a gun, which you should be doing, if it's not comfortable, you're probably not going to carry it. If it's not compact, you're not going to carry it. So to me, that's very important that I find something for my people that's compact. It works. It works on kids. You know, I mean, this really is kind of a do-all. Like these two right here, if you got these, a Slishman and this ETQ wide, dude, you are set. And the Slishman doubles up as a pressure bandage as well. It's actually probably primary a pressure bandage, but it definitely works for arterial occlusion. So, anywho, guys, excuse me. I hope this helps. This is just some of my criteria that I put equipment through. Well, when it comes to tourniquets, I put equipment through. I have tests like this for pretty much any serious item that I'm going to carry with me on a day-to-day basis, and especially something that one of my family members' life may be on the line. I'm definitely gonna put those items harsh tests. So, guys, I hope this helps. If you got any questions, please let me know. Quick shout out, please. Number one, if you made it this far, God bless you and thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this thing as big as I can so I can get this information to as many people as I can, help as many folks. Also, you're going to see me talking to other dudes in the industry too, because I really like pushing this stuff as far as we can, getting this information out. To me, it's very important that people have this everyday preparedness mindset. And also, please visit the website, preparedcitizenstg.com, for some tourniquets for any of your medical items. Also, we got set mounts, we got weapon mounted tourniquet holding devices that are awesome for your combat rifles, home defense rifles, that kind of thing. Let's see. We got a Facebook page. I'm getting hammered on Facebook. Meta does not like me whatsoever. I'm sure it'll be coming soon enough on YouTube. But guys, yeah, please, any support. Support all the dudes I support too. Those are awesome dudes. You'll see them. I share their videos, things like that too. But yeah, guys, I guess that does it. If you got any questions, please let me know. Let me know your standards. What's your information? What's your go-to? And what tourniquet do you carry every day? What do you recommend? If it's something I don't have, I may try to get my hands on one and try to break it. So, because I like doing that. But anyway, guys, please just let me know if you got any questions, and that'll do it for me. And I will catch you on the next one. God bless, and be an asset to those around you, not a liability.